Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone whose beauty could stop an entire street? Someone everyone admired, yet no one truly knew? This is the story of Amira, a young woman whose beauty was the talk of her city. In the market, women paused to stare at her flawless skin. Men whispered to each other, "She's like a queen." Children followed her in awe, calling her the shining star of the village. Everywhere Amira went, eyes followed her. Compliments fell like rain. She became addicted to the praise, to the glances, to the whispers. But deep inside, a quiet truth was growing. Amira's heart began to depend on the admiration of others. Without it, she felt empty. She didn't know it yet, but her reflection was keeping a secret. Emotional hook. She thought her reflection was her power until it spoke the truth. In this story, you will witness how beauty can shine on the outside, but hide shadows within. The mirror that revealed a truth no one expected, and the lesson that changed Amira's life forever. Stay with us till the very end, because her story might just change the way you see yourself. Welcome to Pure African Tales, where real lessons hide in the most unexpected stories. If you love stories that touch the heart and open the eyes, like this video, subscribe and join our community of storytellers. Before we talk about the secret the mirror would reveal, we need to talk about the night Amira brought it home. It was a gift from her late grandmother, an antique mirror framed with dark wood, carved with tiny patterns of stars and flowers. Her grandmother always said, "A mirror shows more than just a face, if you're willing to see." Amira never thought much about it. To her, a mirror was just another way to admire the beauty everyone praised. But one night, everything changed. The house was quiet. The moonlight slipped through the curtains and touched the mirror. Amira stopped for a moment and looked at her reflection. At first, she smiled. But then, she froze. The reflection's smile lingered a moment longer than hers. Her lips had already closed, but in the mirror, her reflection was still smiling. A chill ran down her spine. She stepped closer, rubbed her eyes, but when she looked again, her face seemed different. Her skin looked darker in tone, like a shadow had passed. Her eyes, not sparkling, but tired. Even the corners of her mouth seemed to pull down, like she was older. She backed away, heart racing. Was it her imagination? Was the light playing tricks? Or was the mirror showing her something she couldn't see in herself? That night, Amira covered the mirror with a white cloth, but even in bed she felt its presence, as if it was whispering, "I see you, even when the world only sees your beauty." Before we talk about the truth the mirror exposed, we need to step into the quiet nights when Amira finally dared to look again. Days passed, but her curiosity grew heavier than her fear. One evening, she removed the white cloth from the mirror. Her heart pounded as she stared into her own reflection. At first, she saw herself as the world knew her. Beautiful, flawless, admired. But then, the reflection began to change. Her perfect smile twisted into a smirk of pride. Her soft eyes narrowed with envy. Her smooth skin seemed to crack with shadows of selfishness. Amira gasped, and then the mirror began to show moments she tried to forget. A flashback. She pushed a poor girl aside at the market to get the first fruit. Another flash. She laughed at a friend's torn dress and whispered gossip that broke a friendship. Another flash. She walked past an old beggar, pretending not to hear him calling for help. Every act of vanity and unkindness was now painted across her face in the reflection. She covered her mouth and whispered, This isn't me." But the mirror seemed to whisper back in silence. Beauty can cover the skin, but it cannot hide the heart. Her knees trembled. She wanted to smash the mirror, but deep inside, she feared breaking it would not erase the truth. Before we talk about the moment Amira reached her breaking point, we have to step into the loneliness she chose for herself. After what she saw in the mirror, Amira could no longer walk the streets with confidence. The admiration that once fed her soul now felt like a heavy chain around her neck. She closed her doors, shut her windows, and refused to meet anyone's eyes. The market where she once walked like a queen? She avoided it. The gatherings where her presence once lit the room? She disappeared. And slowly, the rumors began to spread. Have you seen her? She doesn't come out anymore. They whispered, the beautiful girl has gone mad. She stares into mirrors all day, talking to herself. Inside her room, Amira sat in silence. But the mirror, it never stayed silent. Though it spoke without words, its message was clear. Change your heart, or your face will follow. The reflection seemed to age with her guilt. Every selfish act, every cruel laugh, every moment of pride. It all stared back at her, until she could no longer tell where the real Amira ended, and the mirror Amira began. Nights turned longer, the room darker, her heartbeat louder. She was trapped, not by walls, but by the truth she could no longer escape. Before we talk about the moment Amira's reflection began to change, we must first witness the journey her heart was forced to take. Days of fear turned into days of quiet reflection. She realized that running from the mirror wouldn't save her. Changing her heart was the only way. One morning, Amira stepped out of her home, not to be admired, but to serve. She walked to the small village clinic, where the sick and weak waited for help. No jewelry, no fine clothes, just Amira, with a simple scarf, carrying fruit and clean water. The old beggar she once ignored? She placed food in his trembling hands. He wept, and for the first time, so did Amira. Another day, she visited a woman she had once mocked. Her voice shook as she said, "I'm sorry." The woman stared in shock, then pulled her into an embrace. Little by little, Amira repaired the bridges she had burned, not with words, but with kindness and humility. And one evening, when she returned home and faced the mirror again, her reflection looked different. The dark shadows softened. Her eyes glowed gently, and for the first time, the mirror smiled with her, not at her. She touched the glass and whispered, "True beauty comes from the heart." Before we close this story, picture Amira standing before the mirror one last time. No fear, no shame, just a quiet smile that reached her heart first and her face second. The mirror was no longer a prison of judgment, but a window to her soul. Her beauty had not vanished. It had transformed. It now shone from kindness, humility, and love. Everyone admired her beauty, until the mirror told a different story. And in that story, she found the beauty that never fades. The world sees your face, but life remembers your heart. If Amira's journey touched you, if it made you think about what true beauty means, then don't let this story end here. Like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Pure African Tales, where simple stories reveal life-changing truths.